Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello there, I am your friendly neighborhood artist Bright, and today I'm going to talk about my sketches. It all began because I had an idea that I would try to get better at doing art, and one way to do that was to do a gesture sketch every day for 100 days. And the first 2 pages I'm going to show you, they were also done from the Quick Pose website, but I hadn't figured how to do the timelapse function in Clip Studio, so I'm just gonna show them. Let us watch this video together. Now, I can see that in the beginning here that I am trying my best to get in as much detail as possible. It was very early in doing gesture poses, and I see that there's a lot of motion with my hand, with my wrist. Also, someone has commented to me that the music kind of builds up suspense, and I have no excuse for that. I just put in some music I had on in my files. It kind of feels like it's building up to something suspenseful that that's going to happen, but it probably won't. Okay. Now this is like the lying around type of exercise where people are just like lying around, usually sometimes curled up. So some of these angles are harder to work with. You kind of have to like remember the foreshortening. What's it called? Foreshortening. And sometimes they also come upside down. So it is a good exercise just to like get it in your head. I do notice that when I draw in this particular what's it called, time set, that I do have a lot of do a lot of lines, try to get the shading in, try to get all the poses in. I wonder if this was the chiaroscuro one, because you can see that I try to do all the sketches. No, the shading. Maybe this was sitting around. Oh, okay. So this one is the warriors, and these are kind of fun, like very expressive type of motions, fighting poses. There's always a guy holding a spear or an axe. This one was fun. This is another chiaroscuro one. Or maybe it's the female. No, wait, it's the chiaroscuro. I do find it fun to draw the female silhouette, as it is called. You can see me desperately trying to get some shading in, even though it's not necessary. But it's fun. Shading always gives a bit of depth to the painting, to the picture, to the drawing. At this point, I think I'm beginning to like get into the hang of gesture drawings. I mean, we're on like day 5, but I kind of feel like it's beginning to. I'm beginning to get like what's it called? Experience, learning of doing. This is the femme fatale challenge. Some of these poses are really fun. We also shifted the music from horror to something a bit more considerate. And this is another lying around pose. Almost forgot to turn my microphone back on there. I think here that I'm getting some practice in with like stickman figures and having the stickman being like the basis of what the rest of the body should be like. And I think I already see improvement from what I started in day 1. Like you can see that the figures are more defined. They're clearer in their shapes. One of the more difficult gestures to draw is the one where a person is like all curled up, because you have to try to figure out where the limbs are going. Well, that's my personal opinion. So You don't have to agree. More people with spears. Hooray. The poses that are fun to draw is where two people are fighting, because you can get the energy in the pose where it connects with the other person, like someone getting punched or getting kicked in the head. Oh, like that one. The challenge of drawing two people, though, is that all of these time-lapse videos. Well, the challenge is that you have to draw 20 sketches in 20 minutes, so you have 1 minute per sketch. And when there's two people, you just have 30 seconds per person, so that becomes a bit more challenging. Oh, nice pose. I like this one. I'm doing this thing where I spend too much. Sometimes I spend a bit too much time on something and too little on something else, so I kind of rush over, or I'm not confident enough in the line, so I kind of go back and redraw the line to make it thicker, but then it just becomes more messy instead. Some people suggest that you should always start with the spine or the head, or I suppose it depends. But I can only suggest that you try for yourself and see what works out. But, you know, try and do practice and do your best. More difficult ones in the femme fatales is where they point the gun at like a 3/4 angle, so you kind of have to do the foreshortening thing. Then it's not always easy doing the foreshortening thing. More people lying around, always fun. I don't really have something specific to say about this, but well, sometimes people sit on a chair and try to like indicate that there's a chair there, but you also run out of time, so you have to focus on the person. When you're drawing gesture exercises, it's like the human body that is the important thing. But I just find it fun to draw props. There is a benefit of knowing human anatomy and knowing where the various limbs go. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes just draw a person a bit exaggerated just to get the gesture through, motion, the movement of the body. The ones where people are leaning on pedestals are fun to draw. When you interact with an object, your body kinda moves in a different way than if you're trying to just do it without any support. More people lying around and sitting. Can't remember which challenge this is. I wonder if this is femme fatale. Yeah, this is probably femme fatale. Main giveaway is when someone has a knife or a gun. That usually tends to be the femme fatale ones. But not always. Not always. Or maybe that was female silhouette. It's sometimes it just tends to be either one or another. I mean, if you are curious about how I do this, it's I go onto a website called quickposes.com, and there's like different challenges there, and then you pick one of them and you can choose a time schedule? Time limit. Time limit is the bit where I'm talking about. I am able to draw without doing the constructed spine, but it's difficult. Giving yourself a bit of a guideline, I think that helps a lot when trying to draw. Ah, this is the medieval music. I think it's the medieval music. Here's another set of warriors. Well, one of the more fun poses I like to do in the warrior set is the one person that like stands on one leg and lifts the other and has his arms in a fighting position. And the ones where people are kicked in the face, that one is also fun, but if you can draw one person at a time, that usually helps in the less stressful activities. The ones where people have their hips like lean in one way and their shoulders lean in the other way, that's called contrapposto. It's kind of it's fun to draw. This is either the female silhouette or the femme fatale. Kinda lost track. So sometimes I draw funny faces on the characters, on the poses. I just find it fun to draw like a nose or eyes on a character. I mean, one could argue that it is a mismanagement of time when it's not that important, but it's all for the sake of varying it up. I'm beginning here to like draw stickmen, and trying to work that out. I think that helps. I also have my my pen on 50% opacity and I use like a red color. That works for me. It might not work for you, but I think already here you can see there's been a lot of progress since day one. There's less chicken scratching, as someone called it. And I try to do more motions with my arm and shoulder. Because if you move your wrist all the time, you get tired in your hand. And if you're gonna draw all day, you're gonna get really tired in your hands. And the thing is, when you use your shoulder, you kinda get like this smoother, longer line. If you are going to get into drawing, I would suggest looking up how the bones and the muscles in the human body are situated. Like, you don't necessarily need to know how each bone and how each muscle should be drawn, and knowing where they're placed might help in like drawing the human body. There's less chance of your poses looking like some disfigured monster coming up from the cellar. It is kind of funny how having different music has a different tone to a movie or like a picture. Because I'm still drawing gestures, but when there's not horror music in the background, it just feels a bit more lighthearted. So I spoke earlier about the difficulties in drawing when a character is curled up or lying around in a position where you have to foreshorten things. A different type of challenge is when the character wears clothing. No, not necessarily tight clothing, but clothing that are flowing like a big skirt dress, because then you can't necessarily see where all the limbs go. That is from like an analytical standpoint. If you draw the body first and then the clothing afterwards, you will be able to draw the clothing easier. So sometimes I think the point of gesture drawing is to convey a gesture in as few lines as possible. It is it can be challenging. Especially when you're used to trying to get in as many details as possible in an attempt to replicate the reference, the original drawing. I think at this point, yeah, we're probably at day 30 or something. I do feel that I'm getting the hang of it. By no means perfect, because it's always a project of improvement if you're an artist. Or it should be. I don't think anyone ever like feels they achieve perfection and never has to study again. I think these are some good poses, fun poses. Okay, that one looked really good. It was probably not necessarily for me to do this every day, but I'm the kind of person who has to make a routine of it to get through a challenge, and it just took 20 minutes every day, so That is, well, doable for me. These ones are satisfying, I think. The thing is, once you get confident in your lines, you don't need to draw them over and over again. And if you feel that each line is good, or at least somewhat good, you get in more details because you spend less time on each line. Of course, one consideration is knowing when and where to put in extra detail. Because you don't want to continually erase. At least when I started this challenge, I don't think I used the eraser at all. Just drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. You probably noticed by this point that I'm drawing people with box heads. That is just to get a direction of the face and head. Testing. Okay. So, where we were. I think there's at this point I've begun to really get some face expressions into the various characters here. When I had the time. It should be noted that the quality of these drawings might depend on the time of day, because sometimes I fall asleep while drawing. I think some of the best results are when I draw in the morning, like right after I get up. Which isn't always possible, considering that I also have a day job. But you do what you have to do. There are some pictures that show up quite a lot more often than others. I'm not sure what the requirements are in quickposes.com. It could just be like a statistical... what's it called? A statistical anomaly? Statistical chance? I can't quite remember where I picked up the idea of drawing people with box heads. It might have been Mark Brunet, which is also a very good YouTuber. Here we see the appearance of stickmen. I think drawing these stickmen really helps in getting things done. I'm not always doing it. Sometimes I just skip the whole step and try to draw the legs and arms and torso. I believe it was, I think it's Draw with Jassa, or maybe it was someone else who brought forth the concept of the bean. That the upper body and lower body, the torso area kind of makes a bean shape. Which could be useful trick for drawing. There is a certain satisfaction of rewatching the gesture videos, seeing how everything comes together. Just being created out of thin air, taking shape, taking form, becoming a character. But particularly in the jumping poses where people jump towards the camera, you kind of have to keep in mind the foreshortening tricks. The foreshortening learning? I'm not quite sure about what is the best word for it, but there's problems. There's probably some things you can keep in mind while drawing. I really like how these turned out. So I draw this using a wacom tablet. I use Clip Studio Paint, and when I draw I put pen marker on 50% opacity. Did I already say that? Probably worth mentioning again. It's already a 46 minute video, so some of these characters in the Femme Fatale series use gas masks. So I try to replicate that. I just give them really big eyes. Just kind of funny to me. At least in this portion of the video I can see that I try to get the torso down first in many of the instances, and then trying to connect the legs and arms to that afterwards. Not always, I suppose. I might be a unreliable narrator for this. Drawing the bosom of many of these characters is probably not necessary for the whole gesture drawing exercise, but they are fun to draw, so that's why I draw them. There are men in these drawings too, just they have a different shape to them, as men usually do. So I do suppose the men you find on quick bows are of a certain athletic build. Another cool pose is where you see the character from behind and then they hold some sort of weapon, a spear or a sword. And they kind of face off into the distance looking at something. A funny picture that shows up sometimes in quick poses is there's a woman sitting on a chair with a TV for a head. That one is interesting. I'm not sure what that is about. Sometimes when I draw a pose and I realize that I kind of messed up, I just do the best I can and just carry on, because, well, the exercise is drawing what you can in a minute, and if you make any errors, you just have to live with them and try again tomorrow. We're now at 53 minutes. So that's 50 days of drawing every day. And you can see that there's different in the way I draw now. There's a more use of the stickman apparently. Lines are a bit more confident. It is a good idea to draw. Like if you are unsure of how to draw something, you just break it down into geometrical shapes, like boxes and cylinders. So a typical way to do, well, these gesture drawings aren't always boxes and cylinders, but if you draw them, you can, for instance, have a sphere for your lower torso and a box for your upper torso, a box for the head, a sphere for the joints in your shoulder and in your elbow, and then cylinders and some sort of box for your hand, and cylinders and spheres for your legs as well. Once again, there's a warrior people fighting and holding spears and a bow. Many of these gesture poses, they kind of appear in a 2D plane. Like, you see them completely from one side or another. But if they are angled, you have to keep in mind that they do actually exist in a 3D space, and that makes things a bit more difficult. Now, let's see, where were we? We were at drawing stuff. So about these music packs from Humble Bundle, and they belong to Joel Studler. He makes good music, so I recommend checking him out. The original idea with this video was it was supposed to be like a stream of consciousness where you comment and critique, well, not as much critique, but comment on it. And you can listen to my wonderful voice. Unfortunately, I do not think as fast as this video goes. So there are more pauses than I like to admit. I probably could have written a script, but that wouldn't actually be a stream of consciousness. That would be a more planned thing to do. So here we are. I am unsure of how many different people are in the stock photos of quick poses, but there should be at least 5. Probably a lot more, but at least 5. Oh, this one is a bit of a happy tune. A bit of a trumpet. Another set of fighting warriors with spears. If you try to do the same challenge, a tip I can give you is that you zoom into the canvas and you choose an appropriate size for the pen. I personally chose 20. I'm not sure what 20 is, but it says 20 in Clip Studio, so... And if you kind of get the right hand movement to size ratio, you probably don't have to resize the canvas or resize the figure. I think it is important to remember that this exercise, you shouldn't worry too much about it being perfect. Just do it quick and get like the motion in your hand, just like... I suppose you could do it as a warm-up exercise. Just after you like stretch your arms, stretch your hands, move your fingers. As I draw more, less of these characters are horrible monstrosities, but not all of them. There's still someone that managed to sneak through and look very strange. I suppose it's just trying to build the good habits and try not to do the bad habits so much. I noticed that some of these characters end up with really massive legs, but people have thighs. They aren't like, they aren't stick people. This kind of art is kind of in between the cartoonish and the realistic, because you do the exaggeration of limbs and body shape. Or maybe I thought something wrong when I done this. That could also be, but I still think I improved through the exercise. Yes, some of these faces are funny. Not gonna lie, I just think they're funny. I'm not doing any favors to the original reference material, but I just think it's funny to draw faces in any capacity. A head feels so empty without a face. If you want to challenge yourself, you could probably just put the video on like slow speed and try to guess what type of pose I'm drawing in these different situations. I think that man is supposed to hold a spear. This I'm not sure what type of music is fitting for a video of drawing poses. Because music do give a mood to pieces. And I'm not quite sure what type of mood this music is. did listen through all the music before I put it together in the uploaded video. I just forgot what they were, so I put them in. Thought it would be fun, thought that it would work. We're now at the 1 hour of 10 minutes mark. If you're still keeping me company, I appreciate it. But hopefully you garnered some useful insights from this video, if not me talking, or maybe you just are entertained, which is also good. That is one of the points of the video. It's always fun with a little bit of jazz music. It does however give like the impression that all these people who are doing poses are up to something sneaky. Like, why is this man or woman lying around in this jazz music position? What are they up to? I wouldn't say that I regressed, but sometimes I feel that some poses are better than others, and then sometimes you kind of just fall back into bad habits. But I like to say, I like to think that there's an overall progress. Maybe not from day to day, but like over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think drawing a stick figure might be a good idea in the overall sense. Just getting like the proportions right before you draw the rest of the body. these are turning out pretty nice, I think. At least I would like to think so. And then you have someone in a curled up position and you can't really tell what they're doing. Another tip that when doing an activity over a longer period of time, remember to take breaks. For instance, during this video I've had a power nap. You probably won't know where, but I did have one for like 5 minutes. This music doesn't really fit together with the poses. Music, it's just like a bit too playful and the poses are a bit too dramatic, so you kind of get you get like a dissonance. Is that the word? Disjunction? Well, it doesn't really matter. I suppose maybe you feel the music fits. That's up to the audience. Now there's more people laying around in a whimsical fashion. Or at least that's what the music would suggest. Whimsy. Now the music has taken a bit more crime. Like, there's something mysterious going on. Like, all these people posing, they're plotting something. They're waiting mysteriously in a crime noir novel, movie, series, theater. I'm pretty sure one of these must be a criminal. Or the victim, or the detective, or the femme fatale. now we're back to drawing stickmen. I gotta say, I kind of think that this work. These stickmen, they do what they're supposed to do. I kind of have a good feeling about this. Some of these are a bit exaggerated, but that's alright. Now the music is kind of building up to something grand, like a battle. In retrospect, I probably should have listened through the music before actually making the video, but I mean, I did listen through the music. But there's a certain comedy in not knowing what type of music will be when you put it together. Then we can share it in the surprise. A particular pose I find a bit difficult to work with is the one where people are like tilting their head backwards. I do try to vary it up a bit with where I draw the different lines of support. They're not always successful, but it is worth it trying new things, as long as you're working from a reference. Which is another tip I can give you. Use references. There's nothing wrong about using references. I like his music. Kinda has this really cool feel to it. So sometimes while drawing I get a sleepy moment and I wake up and there's like a few seconds to spare and I'll just like really quickly draw the rest of the drawing in a little bit of a panic. Which happens. It's not a big deal. By this point, at 1 hour and 25 minutes, we would have watched 85 days of drawing sketchy gestures together. This music kind of reminds me of Star Wars for some reason. Which do kind of fit the theme of two people fighting. It's probably the drums that make it. Or the string instruments. I like to believe that there is a benefit of going back and watch the old drawings. It reinforces the learning part of your brain. Probably it might not, but I like to believe there is. This song has a good suspense to it. It's like... I'm not sure what it's called. If you do find my commentary tiresome, there's another video where it's just the music and the gestures, so you don't have to listen to me drone on. But if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate it. I do see myself returning to the stick figure person and then working on the limbs from there, so I think that might be a good place to work from in general, because the limbs always have a certain predictable shape to them. There's this the I wouldn't say that I've gone as far as master the art of gesturing, but I would say that 100 days of drawing gesture poses definitely has improved my drawings. Or at least I like to believe it. I still fall back on like redrawing certain lines instead of just doing them once and never looking back. I probably should challenge myself to draw fewer lines and see if that can do a productive experience in the long run. But I feel confident about the current state of what my drawings look like. You might wonder why the color is red. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's just the color I choose, and I kind of like to stick with it. So, suppose the certain wavelength of the color is more comfortable with my eyes. It is a good feeling when you kind of get the muscle definition in. Just like have the arms have the right feel to them. And the legs, of course. Legs are always important. Drawing those long legs. And this music is beginning to become really dramatic. there's probably not much left to say in this video. I think I do have already talked a lot. One thing that is difficult is drawing people in a foreshortening pose where they're like, where they are diagonal towards the camera, but another difficult one is when they're upside down. And I suppose one trick would be to rotate the canvas, but I haven't done that. I don't think it's cheating if you choose to do it, but I think it's just part of the challenge to see if you can actually draw upside down characters. The face expressions. Ah, we reached the end. I probably should come up with a conclusion. I've enjoyed drawing sketchy gestures for 100 days, and if I have any tips or tricks, use references, take breaks, warm up your hands so you don't get carpal tunnel syndrome. And that's probably it. So I thank you all for keeping me company in this little commentary experiment of a video, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye. Oh, also like and subscribe to the video. That is also something you should do if you liked what this was. There might be more of that in the future. Maybe. We'll see.